Hey guys, it's Maymay, and today we are making this cute greeting card and tag holder, which I actually wanted for my desk at home, and I mentioned it yesterday in the live show, and many of you said you would like to see me make it, so that's what we're going to do today. And look how cute it turns out. I love it. And look at the back. Even the back is cute. Okay, this is one of those projects that I've not made before this video. I had it in my head. I wanted to make it, so I make it from start to finish. Be sure to watch the video through first before you try to assemble it, because there's some tips and tricks that I learn as I go. And also your measurements are on the blog post that's linked in the description below. All right, guys, let's get started. So for this little tag holder, we're going to be using 6x6 chipboard. Now we carry this pre-cut in the store for you guys if you want to pick that up, or you can just cut down some that you've got. I'm going to use chipboard because I think it's going to need it. I want it to hold up over time. So cardboard would probably work. Just just make sure you get some sturdy cardboard. All right. The first thing we're going to do is make our angled cuts, and we're going to need 4 pieces with angled cuts. I'm going to make one to start with and then use it as my template for all the others. So you need a pencil, and you're going to need a ruler. So let me grab my ruler. Okay. I want my box. Let me show you. I cut one earlier so you can see what we're creating. I want my box to have this little angle on the side. I think that'll be cute. And you need to decide if you want to use the same measurements. I wanted the front to be kind of thick and the back to be kind of thin. So the top will be thinner than the front. So let me show you how to get that measurement. Okay. This top portion is 1.5 inches. I want to double check myself because I might have changed that. Nope. Top portion is 1.5 inches. So what I'm going to do is use my cutting mat and help me mark 1.5 inches. So that is my first mark. Okay. And this bottom cut is 2 inches. So what I'm going to do is use my mat again and make my marks at 2 inches. 2 inches. Again, you can adjust this if you want. Just know that every other place that I do this, you'll need to do that same adjustment. All right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a line from one to the other, just like so. Now, the reason I'm going to use this as a template is this. I need to do this on both sides to be able to cut it. Because of it being an angle, it's going to be hard for me to do in my trimmer by just flipping it over. So I need to measure this on both sides. Now watch this. This is super important. When you turn this over to mark the other side, you need to remember that now we need to mark 1.5 inches in this side and 2 inches here, not where we were originally. Ask me how I know that. You think I made a cut that was not right earlier? That has happened. Okay. So 2 inches on this side. Now when I make my pencil mark, which I can make right here, from here to there, our angles will be the same on both sides. So you can see angle here, angle there, they are the same. Let's cut that real quick. So use my chipboard trimmer. If you don't know, I have a trimmer that I have an old blade in, and I just use it for chipboard, and it just is very handy. And I recently had to change the blade out on it. And what I usually do is when I replace my blade on my good trimmer, on the one I use for paper, I save that blade to become my next chipboard blade. So that's what I had to do recently. Okay, so we made those little marks. Sometimes you have to do that little bend because you're not going to be perfect. You're going to be off a little bit, okay? So there is our first cut. So now you can see why I want one to be my template, because I need to do that 3 more times. Don't get rid of this. You could use this for something, so I'll put that aside there. And let's start marking these guys. So what I'm going to do is run through and mark the tops first. So lay this guy down. Actually, I want to keep my thought process right. This is my 1.5 inches. This is my 2 inch. So I'm going to lay it that way so I can get comfortable with where the top of my piece is. So I'm going to trace here. And then I'm going to put it aside. I'll come back and do the other side in a second. I'm going to trace all the same lines at the same time to keep myself in line here. How many times can I say line? There's that one. And let's do this one. And now you remember, I need to flip this guy this way, which means I also need to flip these guys that way. So we started here. We need to flip here. I know I'm spending a lot of time on that with you guys, but that's where I made my first mistake when I was trying to put together a sample of this to make sure it was going to go together. That's where I made my first big mistake. All right. One. So we bring this guy over, traced on this side, and flip him over. Now trace on this side. And then the next guy. Flip him over. Trace him out. Got a little bit of flyaway there. Now, I will tell you, these will not be perfectly the same. This chipboard's not cut perfectly the same. You know, your lines are not going to be perfectly the same. Just go with it. The finished product will not show any of that to anyone. All right, so let's make our first slice, just lining up our pencil mark and our cut line. We can flip that over and get the same. So if you don't do the little flip over that I told you, let me show you what happens. I think I can show you. I think I still have a piece that had a little, yeah, here it is. So look, if you don't flip it, your angle's wrong. And you see how I'm 1/2 inch off? That's why. So you want to make sure you do the little flip that I showed you. Once you do that with the tracing, you're good with the cutting. All you gotta do is make sure you cut on the line. And also, this is the hardest cuts we're gonna make. Everything else is super easy. Okay. So there's our 4 angled pieces right there, all cut and ready to go. See how they're not perfect? It's not going to matter. You won't be able to tell it. Okay, guys, before we start to assemble this piece, I want you to make some marks on the base that will help you with your assembly. So I'm going to put this on my cutting mat in the square so I can see what I'm doing here. And the first marks you're going to make are at 1.5. This is going to be where your first divider lives. So I'm going to make a mark at 1.5. Then I want to make a mark at 3, which is actually the middle of the piece. So I'm going to make a mark here, just like so. Now we need to turn it and make 2 more marks, okay? These marks are at 2 inches. So I'm using my cutting mat again to help me do this. So 2 inches here, and we only go to that middle line, and then we're going to make a mark at 4 inches, which is here. Oh, I did my mark wrong. Hold on. 2 inches is here. Who busted me? Somebody saw it. Somebody was like, Maymay, not there. Okay, and then 4 inches is here. All right, so these marks are going to be where your pieces, when you go to glue them on, live. So you need these pattern pieces to show you where to glue things down, okay? So 1.5 inches, 3 inches. This one is 2 inches from the bottom, and this is 4 inches from the bottom, all right? Now for the next pieces of chipboard we're going to need. Remember, our little stands are going to go here, but here I need dividers that work their way back. I'm actually building this around my tag builder stamp set because these are the ones I'm going to use to make my tags this year, and I want them to fit in here. And so what I have done is created dividers to fit that size. So notice how this says 2 3/4 by 3. 3 is the width, and this is a 2 3/4 tall piece, so it's going to live right there. Okay, then this one is a 2 1/4 by 3 piece that's going to live right there. So you're going to need those 2 pieces. Then finally for pieces is this guy, 1.5 by 6. He is going to go in the front here, and our little side angles will match up with him, and it'll close our box all up. Now I know watching me get all these pieces together is kind of boring, but you need to kind of know where we're going for all this to make sense. Now we need to make our binding strips. So now you're going to need your binding strips. And what I'm using for binding strips are 1-inch pieces of cardstock that we're going to score in the middle. Now for the first ones I'm going to use, I'm going to go ahead and do them 1 by 6. This will be the big part of the assembly. We're only going to need a couple of small ones in a few minutes, but I want to encourage you to do this. Dig into your scrap bin for these. I did and was able to use a bunch of scrap with these guys. Now all we're going to need to do is score each of these in the middle at 1/2 inch. So there's 1. I'm going to go through and score. I cut 11. I should only need 10, but I had enough scrap to go ahead and get 11 out without having to cut a whole other piece of paper, and I just thought I'd go ahead and cut them in case I need them. Remember, I assemble these things with you guys for the first time. I did cut some pieces to kind of see how it was going to lay out, but I have not assembled one of these before this video, so we'll see how this goes. If you're concerned about the measurements in any way, if I misspeak, don't worry. Sometimes I do misspeak when I'm saying all these measurements over and over again. We will have the measurements for you in our blog post that is linked in the description below. We'll have that where you can go over there and just grab what you need, almost like a recipe. You can get all your pieces cut before you start to assemble. It'll all be listed for you there. Now I'm going to run through and fold these guys in half and go ahead and crease them down. And just to save myself a step in a little bit, I'm going to go ahead and cut some little angled cuts here. So I'm going to the fold here. This is the fold on this side. The open edge is there. And I'm just doing an angle cut. No measurement or anything. That's just to keep some of the bulk down for me when I start to assemble. I may not even need this, but I find if I'll just go ahead and do it, I don't have to stop what I'm doing and come back and do it. And you can even stack them up and do multiples. Because again, this is not a measured thing that we're doing here. This is just to take a little bit of this excess off the end so we can assemble a nice clean piece. Okay, let's talk assembly. I'm going to be mounting my pieces to the side of my chipboard. Do you see how when I go here it stops? I'm going to do that because I think I'll get a better even finished product. If I mount this onto the top of the piece, I'm not sure I'll get the same stability. So I'm going to be mounting this directly here. So what I want to do first is put a piece on the side. You can do it in the back if you want to mount your back side first. It doesn't matter. I think I'm just going to start right here. I'm actually going to use art glitter glue on this because I don't see that I will need sticky tape on this. There are times when I think sticky tape is the way to go, but this project I don't think is going to have too much pull or anything like that. So I'm going to use my art glitter glue. It's for speed and for, I think it'll be plenty. All right, so I'm just going to put that first strip right here, okay? And then I'll take my next piece and I'm going to butt it up against. Let me stand that up. That's how I'll do it. I'll stand it up when I get there. So let's add some glue onto this side of our strip. Now, notice that I am not covering my pieces before I put it together. I contemplated it. I thought maybe I want to cover these guys before I assemble them. But then I thought, no, I'm just going to cut my pages after the fact and put it all together. And that way I'll know exactly what pieces I want to use. Now I need to put a strip here in the back. So I'm just going to run a piece down here. There's my glue. And here is a binding strip. Put it here to the back. Now, seeing as this is the first time I've assembled this, you guys might want to watch till the end before you start to assemble because I may come up with a tip or a trick that makes this even easier. One thing I'm going to do is while I'm here, I'm going to go ahead and add a binding strip to this side so it'll be easy to put it together when I bring the back piece on. Let's just slide that into place. Yep, I think using art glitter glue on this one because of the way I'm going to be assembling it is the smart choice. It gives me opportunity to slide these pieces into place in this awkward position. Okay, so now these two pieces I just put on are going to hold the back. I think I'll go ahead and put my other side piece on too so I can put the back on all at one time. So let's go ahead and do that. So another binding strip here. Don't you love assembling things with binding strips? They're just so brilliant. Easy and brilliant. Now, making sure that your 2 inches at the top and your 1.5 is here because that's what I'm putting at the front. And I think I said that the opposite while ago, but I do want my 1.5 inch at the front, okay? So that's the piece I'm putting down at the bottom is my 1.5 inch piece. It's hard to remember all these measurements when you're going, but I try. Just be sure to read the blog post. It will help you. All right, let's butt this up here. Grab that with our binding strip. I'm even going to lay it on its side and kind of squish that down good. And again, I'm going to go ahead and put that strip here while I'm at it. So I think I'll just lay it down, which is going to be impossible for you guys to see. But when I'm done, I'll show you. Put my other strip down. Squish that down into place. So now when I stand it up, I am ready to put the back on, and that's going to make everything connect. I'm going to put my back on like this. So I'm going to lay my back piece down, which is this guy, okay? And I'm going to run glue on 3 sides. So here, here, and here. And then we're going to place this guy on and seal him down. I'm just checking that my corners are lining up, that my sides are lining up. Same thing here. Check that bottom. Then I'm going to stand it up like it's supposed to be. Make sure everything's nice and straight. And you'll see here now that I'm taking my bone folder and just creasing that down and making sure it's nice and snug. Look how easy that was. That was not hard to assemble. I was afraid it would get a little fiddly. All right, for the next thing we're going to do, on these guys that are going to stand up in here like this, I am going to place my strips to the inside of each one. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and put my strips on here before I put them in. So just remember, this is my 2-inch, which I originally thought was going to be the bottom, but this is my 2-inch, which is the top. This is my 1.5 inches. So I want to make sure I place this in the same way. Okay, so that means I want to run a strip here and a strip here. So let's do this. Here and here. And I need to go ahead and get 2 of these ready because this is what's going to happen on both of them. So I'll lay this guy in. Like so, and then the bottom. And then with those pieces as my mounting pieces, that will go to the inside to hold that piece in. Okay. All right, then. Let's go ahead and do a second one. 2 inches at the top, glue on this side, glue on the bottom, and then our strips. Now, when I place this in, I want my chipboard to land to the inside of my line that I drew on, okay? And this line is 1.5 inches in, okay? And this line is 3 inches in, all right? So I want to put this on my line that I drew in to the inside of it. So that way I know my measurements stay right. So I'm going to add glue to the bottom of my strip. And I'm going to add glue to the bottom of my strip. And I'm going to place this in where it goes. And I'll probably use my bone folder to crease this down and get that nice and into place. So grabbing my bone folder and just sticking that back there like that. Then I'm going to stand it up on its side and do the same over here. I'm going to use my mat here to help me get it straight, my cutting mat. So if I line this up here and I know I need to be at 1.5 inches, that should be pretty straight. Now let me look at it. Yeah, looks good. It might be slightly off, but you know what? So am I. All right. So there's one installed piece. Look at that. That was easy, right? All right, let's install our next one. Same process. That was super easy to do. Now for my pieces that are going here to be my little dividers, let me show you my plan. This is my taller of the 2 pieces. My plan for this is to not use binding strips, but just to use glue. I feel as though the glue is going to be plenty to hold this in place, and it looks like it is. So my plan is just to run glue along 3 sides, a pretty good bead. I want it to make sure it sticks. If you end up with some space here where I don't have the space where this is going to touch exactly, but if you end up with some space, just make yourself some little binding strips to put this guy in. I think I'm going to put him in here. And I'm going to turn him, and that glue is going to hold him just right. And I'm sorry that my hand is in your way. I'll look and make sure I've got him straight. That looks pretty straight, actually. And I'm just going to squish. And all that glue that's everywhere will go away. It'll dry clear. It'll be fine. Now I'm going to check this side and see if I can do the same thing. And I can. That will fit just fine. So same thing. But again, if yours is too loose, which can happen when you're assembling, that stuff can happen. Just use you some strips that like we did on the rest. Just cut your strips the length of your little piece and put it at the side. You probably don't even need them at the bottom, just at 2 sides. So there's my glue. I'm going to put this piece in. I'm driving it in and then twisting it. So that way I get less glue everywhere anyway. Then I'm just going to lift it up and see if I'm straight. Pretty good. That is going to do just fine. All right, so I'm going to let those dry. And so my little tags, let me show you. My tags are going to fit in here. Isn't that cute? I'll even have room, like if I have ribbons and stuff to stick out. Some will go here, and I'll even have a spot for some here. Perfect. All right, now we need to do the front. And I got to show you something I think can be an issue. This piece here is sticking out the tiniest little bit. Can you see that? the teeniest, tiniest little bit. This one is not. So like I said, things are not all cut straight. I'm going to need to take a little nip right there, but I'm actually thinking it might just be the binding strip. Look at there. When I lay my scissors down flat, all it picks up is the binding strip. So you want to make sure you'll be able to get to this pretty smooth. Okay, so make sure that's pretty level. All right, for the piece that goes there, I do want to use binding strips. I want it to be nice and sturdy, and I'm going to put them on either side here. So I tell you what I'm going to do. These are the pieces I had left over. I'm just going to use them. And how y'all feel about me doing it just by eye? I'm going to lay it there, and I'm going to come underneath and just angle cut to that edge. Well, my angle went the wrong way. Let's do it on the other end. All right, for this piece, I'm going to make myself some binding strips. I could totally measure these out and all that good stuff, but I'm just going to lay this here and cut myself a little angled strip for the piece, and I can use it as my template for the next one. So that is fine. And let's use this one that's already got the perfect angle cut and match it to just get me 2 of them. Again, that's just 1.5 inches by 1 inch. That's the size of these little strips. But I thought, why do all the measuring when I can just do the by hand trimming? All right, so for this one, it's going to get a strip. I tell you what, I'm going to do it on my pencil mark side. It's going to get a strip here. And I'm going to lay that into place. And I still only used 11 binding strips, so that's good. And actually, I had these left over that I trimmed off of. So if you make yourself 9 strips plus these guys, you should be okay. All right, my plan is for this guy to go just like this. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to lift this up so you can see. I'm going to put glue on these pieces right here, this one and this one. And then on my strips on the side. And then when I place these in, that glue on those pieces will catch as well and just add even more stability. So there's that. Let's pull those in. Let's pull this one in. Okay. I'm going to hold those for just a second. Now you're going to notice that I have a little gap at the bottom down there and I didn't put a strip. I'm not worried about that. I don't feel like anything's going to fall out of there or anything like that. If I were trying to hold anything that really, was tiny and could fall through that slot, I would worry about it. But because what I'm putting in here, especially here, it's just going to be greeting cards. If anything, I could add a strip here. Matter of fact, let's do that. I'll show you. So I've got these strips left over that we didn't use. So let's just cut one of these to fit. I know I do not need it in the other side. I know we're fine where greeting cards are going to go, but tags might fall in. So if we put a piece right there, see how we close it up? I'm going to do that. You can certainly do a strip on the other side too. Do strips in here. I just didn't really think I was going to need them. Let me get that down in there. So see how that's going to go? So that way no tags will fall out or anything. And I need to add glue to the top side of it. Now, I'm all closed up, all sealed up, and ready to go. If you want to know the size of that strip, that is a 3-inch by 1-inch binding strip, just scored in half like the rest. Okay, let's start doing some covering. Let's get all some pretty paper in there. When I was trying to decide what paper to use, I walked out to see what paper we had available, and Amanda said this just came in. It's called Winter Farmhouse by Simple Stories, and it's the collector's essentials kit. So it comes with washi. It comes with chipboard stickers, die cut pieces, stickers. It's too cute. So I think I'm going to use this for my piece. So here are the chipboard stickers, the washi, and the little frame, the little die cuts. As with everything, I want to first decide what I want to be seen because that's the papers I want to use first. Okay. So I want to go through and see which page or which pieces I would like to be on the outside. This is really cool because this is called Winter Farmhouse. So it's not necessarily, oh, that's cute. Not necessarily Christmas, but I like it. It's winter. And that'll be cute for what I'm doing. These are adorable. These vintage snowflakes. I may have to use that one. I'm going to put that one out. And then let's look at another page. The jars are cute. Ooh, that little plaid is cute. That plaid is cute. Those snowflakes are cute. I think I'm going to mix it up. I think I'm going to. You already know I'm going to use the buffalo. You know I have to. I think I'm going to do buffalo check on my piece. The cool thing is this. Because of the size of our box, I can get all of my sides covered because it's only a 6x6 and I need these to be 5 3/4. So that's a cool thing. So let's cut those down real quick. So I'm going to cut this down to 5 3/4 by 5 3/4, and I'll come back and cut my angle in. So for my side piece, I did a test and I wanted to make sure that I had this lay in just right. Here is what my measurements turned out to be. So I originally cut a square 5 3/4 by 5 3/4. Then I made myself a pencil mark at 1 3/4 and down here at 1 1/2. I'm not exactly sure why, but that's what it ended up being. So I'm going to do that again on the next piece and make sure it matches, but I'll show you how I did it, okay? So you'll take your piece, and at the top of the page, at the top of your piece, you're going to mark in at 1 3/4. Oh, got to remember pattern. So this will matter. I'm glad I thought about this. So you know that this piece goes on the outside, so it's shaped like this. But this piece is going to go on the outside, which means I need to do my markings on the opposite corners. All right, so you remember I was talking about that. So that means up here, I do 1 3/4. On this side, make sure you do your opposite corners. And at the bottom, I do the 1 1/2. So 1 1/2 will be right here. And remember how I told you that your cuts are not going to be exactly perfect and things like that? That's probably why my measurements here seem a little weird. But like I said, I did a test and it worked. So we're going to try this side and make sure it works too. So slice that away. And if I did it right, this guy should live right here. And it does. Those measurements work. So that is what you'll do. You'll come in at the top, 1 3/4, and at the bottom, 1 1/2, and you get a good layout there. All right, let me erase these pencil marks. And I'm going to glue these guys onto the side. Now for the back side, it's super simple. It's 5 3/4 by 5 3/4. So that's 3 sides covered. That looks great. Now I'm going to decide what's going to go on this front strip that I'll be looking at. I might use the same buffalo check. I think I am. So this is now 1 1/4 by 5 3/4 to go on the front here. So now I can do the inside. How cute is this box? It's so cute. Okay, so now I'm going to do the same cuts we did on this side for the inside, just the same size that we did here, inside and inside. And I'm going to do this one. In here, I'm only going to cover my little front pieces. I'm not going to try to cover these two. If you want pattern paper here, you might want to do that before you assemble it, but I think I'll be fine. So let me cut these two guys real quick. Okay, let's talk interior cut pieces. You do these the same as the outside edge, and these are going to live inside these two sides for me. And I did them in wood grain, but I want to show you a mistake I made so you won't make it. See how my wood grain is going up and down there, but it's going sideways there? Okay, check this out. On this piece, I got it right. I paid attention to the pattern. It would not be a Maymay project if all the patterns were, if one of the patterns at least was not in the wrong direction, because I always do that. But if you look inside here, you'll see that wood grain is going up and down, and that wood grain is going up and down. So we're fine. I may put this one that's going up and down on this side so that if you glance at it from the edge, you see the wood grain in the right direction, and then let this one be on the inside because I don't think it'll be as obvious. Okay. Now back here, after we glue these guys in, we have pieces that'll fit in here. These pieces are 1 1/4 by 5 3/4 because that's what's going to fit right inside there. And so all these pieces are going to be covered up. So you need 2 of those, 1 1/4 by 5 3/4. Again, all the measurements will be on the blog. Then what I'm doing back here, this piece is 2 3/4 by 5 3/4. It's going to live right there. And then these guys, same way of cutting. This guy here is 2 1/2 by 2 3/4. He'll live right there. And then this guy is 2 by 2 3/4, and he'll live right there. So I'm going to glue everything down and we'll see how it looks. So this is my finished box. And you can decorate it as much or as little as you like. I am going to decorate it a little bit. I think I'd like to have something really cute here. Maybe a ribbon and a bow going around the front or something like that. The other cool thing is when you make your tags and your cards and things to go inside of it, it would be really cool. I didn't get that pressed down very well in there. It would be really cool to make your stuff match the paper pack. So like if you chose this same kind of paper pack I did, it'd be cool to make your tags and stuff match this if you're going to give it as a gift. Mine is just for me. I'm not giving this as a gift. I told you guys on my live show yesterday that I needed one of these for myself, and that's why I wanted to make it. I want this for my gift wrap station, and so that's why I wanted to make this guy. I'm seeing a lot of places I did not smash down very good. I'm just going to come back in there and smash those down a bit. But that's it, guys. Let me put a little decoration on the front, see what we can come up with for right here. I think it'll be cute. So the first thing I'm going to do is use this washi tape, which is adorable. Are you kidding me? That is the cutest stuff. I'm going to start in the back here. I want you to be able to see it, but I kind of need to stand it up. Let's see. I'll do it this way. I work upside down, so maybe you can see what I'm doing. So I'm working at the bottom, and I've got my tape upside down. But I'm going to put it here at the edge of my buffalo check pattern. This is the absolute cutest washi. And I'm going to wrap it around all the sides. Like all the way around. Pull it here. Rub that down. Down the front. Rub that down. Then down the side again. I love this washi. Oh my goodness, it's cute. And then I'm just tearing it in the back. You really can't tell. You can kind of see it, but not bad. Then just make sure you rub it around real good. Washi can sometimes be a little less sticky than some tapes. That's kind of the point of it, actually. Isn't that cute on there like that? And then brace yourself. So this snowman was in the chipboard stickers. And I have to use this guy right here. Now, here's the thing I'm liking. So these chipboard stickers come in this pack, but they don't peel off the sheet, which means I can glue this on and not have to powder this to get rid of the sticky like I normally do. I think I'm going to put him on this side. And then I kind of was looking to see what else could go on the other side. Oh, let me show you these. Look at the little houses that kind of match the washi tape. There was 3 of them. And I don't know if I want to put those there or let me keep looking. This is how I do it. I just lay stuff on and try to decide. What about these skis on this side? Maybe there? I don't know. The snowman by himself is just enough for me. I love him. So this is the layout I think I'm going to go with. I'm going to have to do a little bit of gluing and then some popping up right here. But this is what I'm going to do. So the first thing I'm going to do is glue this little tree down. These chipboard pieces, though, are you kidding me? They're adorable. So I'm going to put my hand there and kind of mark where I need glue to go. So from here down is where I need my glue. Do this like so. Then we'll place this guy down. So cute. Okay. And then this little house, I want it to lift up a little bit because perspective, right? We need to feel like the snowman's way in the front and the little house is in the back. And then I want Hello Winter to live right there. So I'm going to glue the little house right above the washi. Now this will be, this is what I love about this. So this is going on my work surface at my home, right? And I'll get to look at this and just enjoy it, So lay this out the way you want it to go. Put things that you love. Like I love snowmen. I love buffalo check. I love all the things I'm adding here. And this will be perfect for that. If you're giving a gift, use themes that people love. So, because they're going to be looking at it and you want them to enjoy it for a very long time. Put our little snowman in. And now this guy is going to need a little bit of foam behind him. So let me put a little strip there on the bottom. So you can see I put a little bit of foam right here because he's going to live on top of those guys, but he'll be lifted up enough that I need to stick him down right there. So I'm going to put some glue in these areas and then peel that little backer off. And I'm going to put a little glue on my Scotty too. You really don't have to, but I like to, especially when I'm doing home decor pieces, things I'm going to use for a long time. I like to put a little Scotty for a little extra. Oh my word, I'm loving this dude. Look how cute this box is. Wouldn't you want this on your work surface and then fill it with little tags and cards and things like that? If you would like for me to use this paper pack and make cards and tags and fill this up, tell me in the comments. If you do, I can make that next Saturday's video. And that might be what you want to see. This paper pack is incredible, by the way. And I could fill this guy up with cards and show you how to make it a gift. For now, though, there is how you assemble it. Look, we could even add so much to the sides. Oh, there's so many things. Like, look at this chipboard piece. I have to add that there. Okay. I give. This being a sticker, I could peel that sticker off and put it down, but I'm just going to glue it down on there. I don't really need to do that. It is a sticker though. Look how cute this is on this side. Are you kidding me? That is precious. It looks like it should be there, right? Like that should be a little window. And then do I want to put something on this side? Of course I do. Let's see what. What if right down here we put a set of skis? Loving it. We'll put them on kind of a little angle like they're leaning there. Too cute. And then on the back, if this will fit, I want to use it. I normally would not stress about decorating the back. However, where I have my gift wrap table, you will see this all the way around. So this is actually a cute idea to kind of decorate the back of this box as well. So I'm just going to add this to the back. Again, it's a sticker, but I'm just gluing it down instead of peeling the little backer off. This is adorable. And I think I'm going to see if there's a sentiment I can put down here. So that way if someone, you know, sees my gift wrap table, there'll be a little sentiment here. Just so you can see, I'm going to peel that sticker off so you can see that they are stickers. And this says, baby, it's cold outside. It's perfect for back here. I love this little piece. Too cute. So now I have a little something all the way around and something cute to have on my desk to hold all my stuff. There you go, guys. I hope you enjoyed this one. This is a fun little project. I didn't realize how much I would enjoy the finished project. I really was making it as a utilitarian piece, but now that I see it all finished, I love how it turned out, and I hope you do too. Listen, if you make one of these, I want to see it. Head to our website called MaymayMadeIt.com, and in our customer gallery, you can share photos of what you're creating, and we love to see your photos. And just to let you know, there's over 2,000 images there for you for inspiration as well. So go check that out over there. I love how this turned out. It's not as cute from here, but it's real cute from here. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video if you did. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.